What's going on, guys, and welcome back to today's video where we are working on the Hellcat swapped Dodge Ram 1500. Some people don't like saying Dodge, but whatever. So on the last video, we finally got the engine sitting in here. So it's mounted on the mounts, connected to the transmission. But I was reviewing a few things that I have to do before we can move on to the next step. So everything clears except for that cross brace that bolts in right there. I have to modify, so that's first thing on the list for me. And I removed it, and I have it over here on the bench, and I've got my chop saw out here. So essentially what I'm going to do is it will still fit, we just have to modify it. So I'm gonna chop it here, chop it there. I'm gonna lower it down the width or the height of the actual brace. So essentially when I cut it here, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna weld it to the bottom, and then we'll reinforce it with the same gauge steel, and it'll just be dropped down. So I mentioned in the last video too, the front brace is actually lower than the back brace, so it's not going to, affect ground clearance or anything like that. We'll be using the factory brace, mostly the pieces. I also have some steel. We even got Mopar steel, boys. So I have these bent up brackets that I'm gonna use. So we've got, it looks like even more than maybe an 1/8 inch thick, but that's the gauge on this. This might actually be a little bit thinner. So if anything, it's gonna be stronger afterwards. So cut it, bring it down, and then we'll box it in and weld it all up, and then we'll have our modified brace. Here is the piece, and I went ahead and just threw the bolts in with the brackets. So this is gonna work. And what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna make 2 end plates for each one. It'll make up for the 1/8 of our blade that we just removed. And if I make it up with 1/8 material, then it'll be tight in here. It'll box in this end, box in the end that we just cut off, and then it will be in there, and I can weld it, and then I can work on reinforcing it, making it structurally sound. So let me show you guys what I got.
So you guys can see, I'm working on the ground here. So essentially that is gonna be like that. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it'll go to the bottom there. We'll have good clearance, and then I'm gonna box it in underneath the bolts, put some angled pieces in there, and then we will be golden.
So admittedly, this is super ugly right now, but this is the general idea of what I was talking about. So reinserted 1/8 inch plate, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just mocking it up, and then once I get it where I want it, I'm gonna end up boxing it in on the bottom here. So it's gonna come up, and this will all be boxed in from 3 sides. So we'll get a little triangle going there, a back piece, and then another triangle on the other side. But essentially it's gonna drop it down outside of the mount, go across, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I'll clean up all the edges and make it as pretty as possible before painting it black. So let me keep going. Of course, we've got on the safety approved OSHA work shoes, and we are working with limited tools on the ground. So I still got to get a vise, you guys. I don't think this bench is necessarily capable of a vise. So at some point here, I want to get like a steel workbench where I can, weld and stuff, so I'm not working on the floor like I currently am. Because if I were to do what I'm doing there, over here, we'd be melting stuff, and yeah, it'd be a good time. So at some point, I do need to get a metalworking table so that we can get off the floor from working, but this is getting the job done. So let me go ahead and start mocking some stuff up. I'm gonna go put this into our chassis, and on the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing, get that ready to go, tack it in place, and then once everything is test fitted, then I can go ahead and actually get this going.
So the one side's mocked up. Like I said, it will get prettier as we go along, but as you can hopefully see there with the light, we've got clearance all through here now. And then over on this side, I could do the same thing, put our 1/8 plate in there, and then attach it. So let me take this out, put our 1/8 plate here, then I can come back down here. I'll tack it in the vehicle so we make sure it all fits, and then we can start reinforcing.
Okay, here's beautiful bracket number 2. So that'll go in, and then our bar will come off the side from right here. My finger's dangling. Well, boys, I was about to tack that in place, and the good old Eastwood MiG 135 decided to just crap out on me. So I cannot get it to do anything. It just makes these little tiny sparks like you see there, and it will no longer arc. I don't know, I tried changing the tip and doing a few basic things, but I don't know what's wrong with it all of a sudden. So I don't know, I might mess with this for a second, or maybe I'll see if I can go and borrow Aaron's welder, because I want to keep working, and this thing just gave up on me, unfortunately. Okay, so even though it's awkward as heck under there, I busted out the TIG welder, so
I guess no better time than now to hone my TIG welding skills, since I'm not that good at TIG welding. But yeah, I ended up getting it tacked under there, even though I just put my hand on the foot pedal. Even though I do have the trigger one, I didn't want to mess with it. I just literally just stabbed the foot pedal with my hand and just got tacked up. So now I'll pull it out, and I guess I'll continue with just TIG welding. I guess this piece is kind of, last time I did TIG welding was on the stainless steel exhaust on the Hellcat. And it actually came out half decent, but MIG welding would have been easier for this project, I feel like. But if I TIG weld it, I can kind of just get my TIG welding skills a little bit better, I suppose. And that way, when it comes to making the exhaust for this later on, I'll probably have some more time underneath my belt, so to speak. So let me take this out. I'll show you guys what I got, and then I'm gonna start going to town on it. All right, so here's our piece, boys. So I've got it in place, and as you can see, we executed like I was mentioning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off the bottoms. I left these little tabs just in case I wanted to lower it or wherever I wanted it or needed it, but that's where she ended up. And then I'm gonna trim that off, clean it up, and then we'll come across here with our little triangle sections and our box plate on the bottom. So let me mess with it for a while. I'm gonna cut it up, weld it up, and all that stuff, and I'll show you guys where I'm at. Okay, so here's my progress so far, just at the one side. I wouldn't say I'm the worst, but not the best. I'm still an amateur. Still a beginner. Like, that looks not too bad. I got some decent dabs on there. That's kind of ugly. That's meh. But anyways, just kind of getting it. There's a hole on the one end there. That's why it has that big booger there. Like, similar to here, my plate had a hole that I had to fill. So anyways, that's the ugly piece so far. And I'm just gonna continue. I'm just gonna test fit it again, make sure that nothing moved or anything like that. And then I'm gonna weld up this side solid as well, and then I'll work on to my angled supports. Okay, so I just went to the store and I got some 1/8 inch plate steel, so that's 2 inch wide, and I just made up these little plates. So this one goes on this side, so I'm gonna go like that, box that in, and then I'm gonna make my little triangles for both sides. So I got each respective piece. This one should be for here. It's still hot, but you guys get the idea. That's gonna go there on that angle. I'm gonna have to make little triangles for there. Well, if one thing's for sure, I bet you guys have never seen somebody TIG weld on a shop floor before, so if I can produce that on a floor, I guess I'm not doing too bad. So here's my 2 little TIG welds. Like I said, I'm still learning, and I'm learning on a floor, so cut me a break. Now I'm gonna make these little triangle pieces, and then I'll weld these triangles on all 4 sides. And I think that's plenty strong. Honestly, having this here is probably almost as strong, but I think putting those triangles in there is really gonna seal the deal and make this thing as strong as it needs to be. Okay, a little update. So I made all these little triangle pieces, and they all fit in their respective place. So they go in here just like this. Can't really do it with one hand with the camera, but you get the idea. They fit perfectly in here. If you're wondering how I did it, I just pretty much traced this out of here, put it onto our flat stock there, and then cut it out. I mean, you could do it a few different ways. You could use a combination of that, but I mostly just put it in my little vise here and did it with the angle grinder. So it's getting messy, getting crazy over here, but I'm almost done making a mess. So I'm gonna weld these in, these triangles, and then I can move on to make it pretty. But let me weld it, and I'll show you guys these triangles all welded in. Okay, so here is the end result, you guys. Probably could get the welds a tiny bit cleaner, but I mean, it's under the truck and it's not any uglier than the factory one is or was. So there we go. She is solid. We've got that. Those triangles all welded in there. Got our end plates. And honestly, once it's black, it could look as factory as could be. So that's our piece. It's definitely solid, boys. Like I said, I could probably, if I had my MIG welder, I'd probably spend a bit more time maybe filling in those welds and
you know, sanding them or grinding them down. So she's solid. Let's go ahead and paint this thing black. All right, so it's the next day, you guys, and it was dark out when I painted this, but it came out really, really good. So here it is. I'm just letting it bake out in the sun. So that's our finished piece right there. And then what I'm working on right now is I just put in our bolts to our torque converter. So those are all in and tight. Okay, so just working on a few things, you guys. We're gonna be installing this Holley transmission support bracket. So I got that on there. I got our starter motor in there. I'm just gonna throw this on and up. Since I got our bolts for our torque converter all tightened down, those are all done. The bolts are through the flex plate. I'm just gonna button up a few things down here at the same time. All right, so we got that bracket in there, starters in, and now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wire harness. I was going to put our hoses on here, but I wanna wait till I get the supercharger in here, just so I can make sure and see which routing, whether I can just, you know, do a beeline from here to there, or whether I have to do a little bit of a loop. So before I actually chop these hoses, just so I don't have to go running off and getting new hoses, I'm gonna put the charger in. So let me throw the harness over the back, get it kind of just roughly laced in, and then we'll throw the charger in here. All right, boys, so supercharger is in, and as you can see here, it is right where she needs to be. So it is all the way back. So that Earl's plumbing fitting, the crossover tube, that actually clears our firewall, so without any cutting. I might massage it a tiny bit just so I can get my hose on a little bit easier, but not absolutely necessary. As you can see there, it's clearing. Other thing too is probably not going to bolt the supercharger down just yet, because I still have to put our fitting on for our dash 10 from Earl's. So that's going to go on our fuel line right here, and there's kind of not that much room back there. So what I'm probably going to have to do is wait until I'm about to make up my line, and then, because I still have to cut the dash 10 to length. But reason being is probably going to have to put this on and then essentially tighten all those fittings on and then put the supercharger back on, because there's no way I'm getting our wrenches back there for our dash 10 fittings. So even I might actually just make like a serviceable hose. Like maybe I'll make like a length of hose that's maybe a foot long or something like that, just so that I have something that if I ever need to disconnect something or take off the supercharger or whatever, I only have like a little kind of maybe a foot long piece, and then maybe I'll put a union or something. Either that, or I just run my dash 10 line to where it needs to go. But even if I do run it, depending on where I cut it to length, I still have to flush the line off, so I have to take it off anyways. So that's where I'm kind of stuck, not putting the supercharger down 100% just yet. But what I am going to do right now is, like I mentioned, I want to get the supercharger in place, and I'm going to make up my heater core lines. So right here, our heater core lines are there, and then here are the fittings. So these click down into place. So I'm going to utilize our existing heater core lines. I have enough room back here that I'm probably just going to send them across and down right there, and should have plenty of room to get that done. But let me go ahead, make those up, and show you guys what I end up with. All right, guys, well, it turns out I have to pull the charger to actually run the heater lines. So I'm going to actually save that for the next day and for the next episode, because I've got to take the charger off. I'm going to start fitting some fittings and just get into a whole next level of what we got to do. So on the next video, we'll end up wrapping up some of that stuff. I got to make a bracket here for our coolant pump. Also have to make a couple brackets for this. So this is what's going to hold and hang our oil cooler. So we got that part there, and I gotta make some brackets between the frame rails to get that all in place. So just gonna start outfitting a bunch of stuff. Fingers crossed, but I think the bracket for the coolant pump and the bracket to hold that piece for our oil cooler, and then most of the fab stuff should be out of the way. So I'm looking forward to getting to that stage. So my goal, you guys, just so you know, is to have be able to cycle this key in about a week or two. That's my goal at this point. I think we can get there. The only thing that's just holding us up is we're gonna have to run the fuel lines. We got to put in our fuel pump from Holly and get all that fabbed up. I also got to hook up a bunch of fuel related components. This did show up as well, so I'm gonna be running 2 fuel pumps at some point on this. So I got another Hellcat fuel controller as well, so I'm gonna have to wire that in. So a lot of stuff to do. So that's wired in on the back on these trucks, but I'm gonna have to wire it in series with the original one, and that way we have 2 modules to power 2 pumps so that we can eventually run E85 or whatever we want to run on this thing. It's gonna have more than enough fuel. So lots of stuff on the way, you guys. Super excited. We're making good progress. My goal is to have this at least running in a few weeks. That way I have maybe a week or 2 of testing, make sure she's good before we have to go to the show, because I pretty much got like 1 month and then we got to get out of here and on our way to Moat Party. So thanks for watching, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.